and I totally fell in love with Bali. And I have less money, that you found yourself again in this life. And yeah, it was really, really nice to hear. Bali is a whole family. And this is what I really, really love. Because I wake up here so early, which is so easy here, because it's a beautiful feeling. Wake up in the morning and just...
Open your hands, stand in the light, watch it begin, we're gonna shine.
Okay, the first thing that I would love to know about you is how did you end up doing what you do here, being a digital nomad here in Bali?
Okay, so 2017, end of 2017, I got the information that I had the cervical cancer. And after the anesthesia, everything went well. After the anesthesia, I woke up and I had the feeling I have to start living right. So 3 days later, I went to my office and quit my job, and yeah, starting to planning my world trip, which was always a dream for me. And yeah, I was traveling around the world for 1.5 years, and never planned to go to Bali at the end, but somehow I ended up here, and I wanted just to stay for 2 weeks. And yeah, at the end I was here for 3 months. And I totally fell in love with Bali.
So it takes you like a bit down on yourself to make you realize that what you really want in life, is you start doing it, or?
Repeat the question again. What?
So after that thing, so you start asking yourself what do you really want to do. That's why you travel, yeah.
Yeah. So after Bali, I came back to Germany. And I felt really bad being back there. I couldn't find myself there. I felt very lost, and people didn't understand my new way of thinking. And yeah, at some point I decided to go back to Bali and focus more on focus more on my own company, and to be able to live exactly this life here, like being free, having a nice routine, doing what makes you happy, and yeah.
So after the surgery, you start traveling, right?
Right.
Where did you go?
So after the surgery, I started in New York in March, 1st of March, yeah. I started in New York, then I went to Miami to visit my aunt. After Miami, I went to Cuba for 2 weeks, and then Costa Rica, then I traveled the whole South America, Canada, New Zealand, Hawaii always was a dream for me, and then Brazil. And after Brazil, I went again to Hawaii, and then I took the decision, okay, maybe I should go to Australia or I go to Bali. And then I said, oh, let's go to Bali for a bit. Nice. And kind of, I think I found my home, actually. Yeah.
What makes you think that you have to travel that time? That okay, you always wanted to travel the world, right? But like, what thing that made you did it that time?
You mean why I decided to do it?
Yeah, like
I have to go back a little bit.
Yeah.
The first time I realized that I want to travel in general, it was when I was 26. So the first time I realized that I want to travel was when I was 16. I had my first internship in a hotel as a receptionist, and I felt like bad. That was not my kind of life I wished for me. I always felt like I can't be part of office or being just a number in a company. So in my head there was this thing, one day you're gonna travel the world. But it was just a world trip, which was always a dream. And yeah, after actually 14 years, I finally did my world trip. But during this world trip, I changed myself. I get to know so many people, so many perspectives of life, and so many cultures, and I realized that I want to live this. It shouldn't be a world trip anymore. It should be a life trip. Actually, I want my life to be a life trip.
Okay, so because of that, you choose to, of course, in the end we need money, right? So you choose the work that makes you suitable traveling anywhere.
Yeah. When I decided to be a motion graphic designer back then, I didn't think about that this could be a possibility. Sorry. So when I decided back then to be a motion graphic designer, I didn't think about that this could be a possibility. Fuck that.
Possibility.
Possibility. So. Sorry.
It's fine.
Back then when I decided to be a motion graphic designer, I didn't think about that this could be a possibility to be a digital nomad or to live this kind of life. It was 2012. I started my company, but it was just to earn a little bit money beside my full-time job. And then, I grew, like my company grew. I got more and more customers, and then end of 2017 I was in a situation where myself being just self-employed with my company, and I took the chance. I just quit my full-time job and started just to work with my own customers from Germany. And it's a tough time, like being self-employed, and people always think it's so easy, and oh my God, she's traveling the world and she's living her dream. But it's a lot of work to do. So customers are not coming from themselves, so you have to work for it. Actually. Yeah.
But how do you feel? Like a full-time job, secure life, like monthly thing, insurance, and now with not so sure money, and then not so sure place, How do you feel?
The funny thing is, now I work more and I have less money, but I'm more happier because I work for myself. I love the work I do, and I feel, even though I work more, I feel more free because no one is telling me what time I have to wake up, what time I have to do this. I have the possibility to decide what I want to do. I have my own routine, and that makes me happy. Freedom makes you happy. Even though maybe you're not financially free, but I rather live like this than have a lot of money on my bank account and feel secure. At the end, money doesn't make you really happy. It helps you a lot, but it doesn't make you happy.
Okay, cool, nice. So basically you can be anywhere you want, right? But right now you feel like this is the place for you. Can you please explain a bit, like what's the reason behind that?
I repeat your question that the people know what you're talking about now. So basically I could live everywhere, but I decided to be in Bali because I have the feeling that the people here speak the same language. Not the language we know, like Spanish, Portuguese, Polish, whatever, but the spiritual language, the how you can say, the language of life. It's here you don't have to explain yourself why you're doing this and why you're living like this. People know it. Like, people understand you immediately from the first second. When I'm back in Germany, people ask me, how can you afford this? How can you do this? what is with your security, what is with insurances and all this stuff. People don't ask this question here. People ask you, how are you? How was your day? What's your plan for today? Like, people ask about your personality and not about your job and securities and stuff like that. So this is a totally different language people are speaking here, and people are happier here. And so you are. When you drive with your scooter and people are waving to you, say hi. Here you don't feel alone. Like, even if you're alone, and if you travel alone, you're not alone. Like, you have the feeling that Bali is a whole family. And this is what I really, really love.
Nice, cool. I never get this perspective before.
Yeah.
It's yeah, I got that before when I was living in my city. They always ask me like how much you earn. Me, when are you gonna get married?
Yeah,
Do you have
exactly.
girlfriend? Like, okay.
I have the feeling that there is no pressure here. No pressure for your job, no pressure for your life, how you should live. It's just you and the world, or you and Bali. It's amazing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, what is it like to be a digital nomad here in Bali? Like, why is it so many? The digital nomad. Okay, you said Bali choose them to be here.
Yeah.
But like, why is it like that?
Yeah.
What is it like to be?
I think a lot of digital nomads come to Bali because it's a nice mixture of tropical feeling and Western feeling. You see that a lot of fancy cafes and nice shops and all this stuff, which Western people like, of course. You find it all here. So you have the possibility to be in a jungle, but next door there is this fancy restaurant you can go, you know, and this is like the perfect mix to work kind of or in a Western style, but living in a tropical life, or having the feeling of being on holidays every day. That's why I think Bali is the right place. And of course, you have a lot of co-working spaces here. So, like for example, Canggu is built up for nomads. You find here places where you can go. You have a good Wi-Fi. You can work from everywhere, and yeah, it's not possible everywhere. So Bali did a good thing.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, you also said yourself that Bali choose some people and it also doesn't choose some other people, yeah. But like, what does it? What things about you or your personality that makes Bali choose you to be here? You know.
Why I think that Bali choose me, as I like to say, is because I have a different kind of thinking or way of thinking. When people think like this, I always think furthermore. I always think out of the box. It's a little bit hard to explain maybe, but I think that my soul is older than some others, and I also believe in like that we live or have several lives, and I think that I had a lot of lives before and that I made a lot of experience, and so this is my spiritual part. And yeah, I think that I'm like on my spiritual way I was just ready for Bali. Maybe in one of my other lives I wasn't, and maybe now I am. I think you have to be ready for Bali. Yeah.
So was it what you said is like about reincarnation thing?
Yeah.
I think Balinese people also believe the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I have a friend, and she has a friend from Switzerland, and she's actually the mom of my ex-boyfriend, and she told me like the woman from Switzerland told us that we know each other from other lives. That's why our connection is so good, that we found each other again. And I believe in that.
I got goosebumps.
And she even doesn't know me in person. Like, she just felt that her friend does know a woman, and this woman is me. And she was like, hey, I have the feeling you know a woman and that you found yourself again in this life. And it was really, really nice to hear.
Was it why sometimes when I meet people I feel like,
When you feel connected from the first second, I think you can be 100% sure, or make it 99.9% because it's more sure, that there is a connection from a different life or something else, something higher.
that's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, now my question would be like, can you give me like the life of digital nomad here in Bali? Like what do you do after you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast, or you don't eat breakfast? I don't know, right? Or what you have for lunch? Just your routine here in Bali.
Okay. So I can't tell you how every nomad life looks like, but I can tell you how my routine or my perfect routine would look like. Sometimes I can do it, sometimes not. So I wake up at 6 in the morning, then I do a little breath work, kind of meditation. Then I go to sport for one and a half hour. I love Muay Thai. And after that, I take a shower, read some lines in a book, and sometimes I eat breakfast, sometimes I don't. Depends on how hungry I am. And then I go for a coffee with a friend, have a nice chat, or I go surfing, and then I start working. And after 3 hours of work, I do a break for an hour, and then I work again. And the funny thing is, like, I work, when I'm in Germany, I work more because I'm like focusing just on work. I have the feeling like I lose time when I go for a coffee or something. But here I have the feeling that when I work less, I achieve more because I work more productive. My brain works totally different here.
That's cool.
Yeah, and that evening I go for dinner or for sunset, and sometimes I go back and work, and sometimes I go for a drink or party. Yeah.
That's nice. I feel it too, because like I don't feel 8 hours of working in the office is the correct way, because I feel like if you work 8 hours, you're gonna be productive for like 3 or even 4 hours.
Yeah.
It's that. And the rest, you talk to your friends, take a selfie. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make yourself not
Yeah.
bored, right?
And the good thing is, because I wake up here so early, which is so easy here, because when the sun rises, you wake up, and then like your day is much longer. Yeah. So that's why it's possible, like to go to sport, to do some meditation, to read, to have a chat with friends, to have a coffee, and then to start working.
Like do more, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. I want to hear about that thing that you told me earlier, but like the German thing, like your customer mostly in German, so do you have like 7 hours different or 5 hours different?
Yeah.
So with the digital nomad thing, it's kind of connected to each other, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So you want to know how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I mainly work for German customers, so right now I'm 7 hours ahead. That means good for me because I have more time to achieve my work. Like when I have to, or when I have a deadline on the next morning, I still have 7 hours ahead, which I can work. And less pressure, definitely. So this part of time shift is good, but if you have customers from different countries where you're back at the time, then you have to catch up a little bit, and then you have your calls at night and stuff like that. But for me it works very, very well.
Do you often get calls at night?
No, actually not. Just when I schedule one because I need some information, but No, there was never a customer who said, like, we have to have a call at night or something.
What's
Yeah.
the latest time that you received a call from
Uh,
customer?
I think it was 11 p.m. That was the latest. But I know a lot of people wake up 3 a.m. in the morning to have a call with their customers.
It's like the Canadian girl, I told you.
Yeah, right, right,
Okay.
right.
This is probably the last one.
Okay.
Based on what you do right now, being a nomad, motion designer here in Bali, what do you hope or wish about Bali in the future that can help you do what you do still?
So, well, I'm motion graphic designer right now, but I'm starting to do my personal trainer qualification, and I'm really passionate about helping other women to find themselves, to love their bodies, to love themselves, and I want to do this qualification not just to tell other women like I make you sexy in 3 weeks and you get the six pack and stuff like that. No, I just want to give them a chance to start loving doing sport, to move their bodies, and to find a way to love themselves a bit more. And I think Bali is a good place for that. So I hope I can build up my business in this kind of thing a little bit more. And yeah. And the funny part is, like, when I'm in Bali, I live my inner child more. So I'm a little bit crazy and love to be funny and do funny stuff. And yeah, this is like also what my Instagram account is about. Like, live your inner child, laugh about yourself, just laugh, you know. And yeah.
That's cool though. I also heard about that. It's someone is post a picture about her body, but it's not perfect, and
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
good way to
Body positivity.
like decrease some anxiety,
Yeah.
because
Exactly.
like Instagram and stuff show you the perfect body.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
What inspires you to do that?
I have a long trip with my own body. I was going through a lot of anorexia, bulimia, and all this stuff. So I know like everything. I know every diet. I started my first diet when I was 14. I never loved myself. Maybe it's also because your parents never learned how to love yourself. And I think this is a really important part which we should start actually. And yeah, so during my world trip, this was my process where I changed and where I finally started loving myself and just took a look in the mirror and said, you know what, you're perfect how you are, just love yourself. And I mean, it was not from one second to another, of course, but yeah, I made the whole process with myself and shifted my way of thinking about myself and stopped judging my body and found myself to say it's okay to be how you are. And yeah, and because I did it, I want to help other women as well to do this too, because it's a beautiful feeling. Wake up in the morning and just not just stand in front of the mirror and say, oh my god, you look so ugly, but to say, hey beautiful lady, good morning, have a nice day, you know. And yeah, I think life would be much easier and funnier and relaxed when people just are happy with themselves, and we're like a world where people are not getting judged for how they look like.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. I think you have things to work on right now.
Good.
Yeah, it's perfect answer. I like it. Yeah.